air conditioning on this 2016 Honda Accord. Now this has a clutch on it, and you can see the clutch cycle off and on. I just charged it up. It was in a collision. It has the condenser back on, so I just charged it right now. And as you can see, as the clutch cycles on and off, it goes down to 20 psi while it's on. That would be its operating pressure. And let's watch it. Close to 20. It kicked off at 23. But it's going between 20 to 23 psi is what time. But now imagine if I did not have these gauges. All I had was a can of AC Pro. And this clutch is cycling on and off. And I'm trying to get it to go up into the green as the AC Pro. Wow, look what I have here. A can of AC Pro. Now how about if I hook up this can of AC Pro with their little green gauge, and we all know the green means good. Yeah, right. How about if I hook up this can of AC Pro to that low side and just keep pumping in gas until that low side pressure that you see on there in the green. Can you see the green? Let me get it still. Let me focus. So this is what they're telling you to use. Green is good, okay? So the green starts from about 25 and goes all the way up to 50 psi. So a more green must be more good. So let's do gooder and put more in. So if this is at 20 to 25 and that's good with 100% factory fill, if I bring this up to say 30, or if I went to the middle, 40, how much overcharged would I be? On top of that, I would be putting an unnecessary, it doesn't matter if it's a big can or a little can, especially a customer who has a leak and he's continuously going back every 2 or 3 months and they buy another can and another can and another can, and they just keep topping off the system. There's a solid liquid in here, and liquids are a solid. They're not a gas, they're a solid, just like a chunk of steel. It's a solid. You cannot compress water, and you're not going to do too good at compressing a chunk of steel either. So they keep adding these cans into their cars, unknowing that this great company with your good intentions at heart sell you this shit, and they keep putting it in, and they wonder why they need compressors after they've done a couple recharges. Not always the first time. Sometimes they could get away 2, 3, 4 times, and then boom, all of a sudden they need a compressor. I wonder why. Let's see. And remember, if I kept filling this up to try to bring it up to say somewhere in the middle, 30, 40 psi on the green gauge, because green is good, what would be happening to the high side? Because remember, you only have the low side when you're using one of these. You would not be able to see that the high side's up there somewhere around 300 psi. That's all. AC Pro, with your good heart, taking care of your customers, and with your detailed instructions. And of course, this is a universal gauge that fits all vehicles and works on all vehicles. I do see it work, and they get away with it a couple times and they're all happy. But for the customers that it doesn't work on, we don't hear about them. They're quiet about their mistake usually. Or the shop that uses. There's actually supposedly professional automotive shops that are using this shit on people's cars and actually charging them money for screwing them over. And yeah. All right. Oh, and that's one of the loopholes in California, especially. One of the loopholes. You don't have to know nothing. You don't even have to have an EPA license. So long as you're buying a can that's under 2 pounds, anybody can buy these. So there's a lot of automotive, supposedly professional shops that have cases of small cans because they don't want to get licensed, and they don't even have gauges, and they just charge money. They stick this to the low side, they shake it, they jerk off, they grow hair on their palm and go blind, and splooge their luge of refrigerant into the customers and take money from the customer and send them out the door. But of course, when that compressor burns up a few months later, they're more than happy to charge the customer $1,500, $3,000 to replace their compressor the condenser, flush the system, receiver dryer, whatever else is needs. All because of our good friend here, AC Pro. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.